Okay, in this tutorial what we're going to be doing is looking at the next phase, which is getting started with the drawing of a caricature, and that would be how to simplify the whole process so you can understand how to make it look a little bit more caricaturized in a more simple and effective way. Now we're going to do that by looking at what's known as geometric shapes. Now you don't need to be told what geometric shapes are, but basically we're talking square, circle, triangle, ellipse or oval. Okay, these are the basic ones. You can obviously do different versions of these, like I say, rectangle. Okay, and you can obviously change the angle to an acute, pyramid or whatever. Okay, so this is what we're going to be looking at to help you understand how to then design the different kinds of caricatures you want, because you can't just do one caricature. You have to look at different people's faces and see how you can see those shapes in the actual design of the caricature. Okay, so that's Alfred Hitchcock we're going to look at. That's Stan Laurel, and finally we're going to look at John Lennon. Okay, so let's get started with Alfred Hitchcock. I'm going to put an overlay so we can actually define things a little bit easier. Now when you look at that, you'll see certain things start appearing. There's a kind of a straight line down there, and then there's this triangle effect there, but for the ease of actually drawing this as a illustration, you'll see there's a kind of an ellipse, and then on top of that there's an ellipse this way, so he's basically made out of two ellipses. Alright, the other things we're going to talk about later, which is this kind of part of his face and the triangle for his nose, we can discuss later, but what we're going to do is see the basic shape first. Okay, so I'm going to just get rid of all that. Okay, if we look at Stan Laurel, now he has a very wide chin. So what we're talking about here is this kind of look. Okay, you'll notice the distance between his mouth and the bottom of his chin is extreme, so we're going to utilise that as well. Now on top of his head, you'll notice this starts cutting in. So he's got a circle and this big kind of semi-spherical ellipse. Okay, so we've got to utilise those, but this is interesting because what we want to do with the hat is obviously to make it smaller, because that will caricaturise it. If we do it something kind of like this, yeah, obviously the head then has to do something to fit that, so we've got to make the head smaller, so this circle would need to be smaller. That would then give you scope to do the nose a little bit bigger, so the eyes are kind of like there, and then his mouth's here, and he's got an enormous big chin then, but we can then, as the head's there, we can then bring and so it basically builds it up and makes it even bigger. Okay, so that's how you would define those kind of shapes, but it would, as I said, you can see all the different shapes appearing. Okay, like so. Now if we look at John Lennon, for example, to make it go to the next stage with a little bit more detail. So, now, when you look at John Lennon, he's got a massive hair, so you can't see a lot of detail, but let's just assume he's got a circle on his head, but you'll notice he's got this very strong jawline. Okay, now what we can do with that is later on, I'll do it now actually, I'm going to put it on a different layer, that jawline. Now if I just press Command T to give you that, there's an option here called Distort, so what we can do is to draw this out. Depends whether you want to have it a little bit more elongated or whether you want it shorter. What you've got to do is think about the principle by what you want to do to actually manipulate him as a caricature. So the more you bring him out, the thinner that's going to be, and then that's going to make it more of a caricature look. You can obviously bring it up slightly, I think, like so. Now you'll see that creates a little bit of an issue. Okay, basically the head doesn't join the line that you created for the thing, but you'll notice there is an actual curve there. So what you do is you basically bring that in, like so. Okay. And what you can do, even if you can't see it, you can then reduce the size of the head, just to strengthen that. Yep. And obviously you've got your eye line. Okay. And you'll notice with his nose, he's got a very strong pointed nose, but it's actually got a bit there, so you can emphasise that as well. As I said, these are not the finished drawings, these are just building up the shapes that we're going to need. And what you need to do is, for instance, to do his classical glasses, you can change things on the drawings, you don't have to keep to the exact same thing that you see on the actual screen. Like so. He's got his round glasses that everyone knows him for. Like so. Okay. And we don't need to worry too much about the mouth because it's pretty nondescript, so it's just an added feature in the end. But he has got those parts there. Again, simplify the neck and make it slightly smaller than what you see, and that will overemphasize the actual shape of the head as well again. Okay, and so when you do when you do shoulders, make sure that they come at a steeper angle because it gives it more cartoony feel as well. Okay, if you're doing it like mine, straight on. Okay. Also try to think about how you have to cartoonize or caricaturize the actual body parts. Okay. As I said, you've got all this which needs to be caricaturized as well. Like so. Bring that out further than it actually is, and that'll give the extra characterization. Okay, just finally, the eyes are the most important parts of the whole thing because that's where the soul is, they say. So you can get the actual eyes right, then you're going to get most of the audience happy with what you've tried to do. Okay. Okay, so now that's a starting point, using these geometric shapes and pushing them slightly, pushing the nose slightly. They could probably be done even further, okay? We could probably even push the head up a bit, but what I wanted to show you in these videos is how to start recognising parts of the face. And what you do next is you do the cleaned up version of the actual caricature. You can see that it looks like a bit child, but it's not how you want it as a caricature. For instance, we can't see the top of those. I'll just do a kind of, what you need to do is bring that in and down there, for instance. You don't want to do it there because it basically won't look right. It doesn't look cartoony enough or caricaturized enough. Okay, so what you've got to think about how to do is to look at what you're seeing and then see how you can then bring it into a more cartoony look and feel. Okay, like so. Now you see it's got a big bunch there and then it cuts in again, so you've got to think about making this part of the cartoon bit more sticky out. Like so. Yeah, no help. You may want to make his eye glasses a bit bigger, all these kind of things. So we're going to look at these and look at some of the ones I've done in the past, and I'll show you how I manipulated them and made them into a more kind of cartoony look and feel. Okay, but this is what you need to do. Look at these shapes and see how they fit into, like for instance, what I would do with him is I would make him even smaller there, and using that ellipse thing that I told you about. And you'll notice then we can bring this down, like so. Okay. see lots of famous people's caricatures, and they tend to not look like the person totally as they're supposed to represent him, but there's something about them that makes you think, okay, that's the person. Okay, and so we've got to try to capture that one thing. It's going to make it look like Alfred Hitchcock. Now you notice he's got this. So he's also got this okay, and he's also got these big eyes. Small eyes. Okay, so that's kind of the rough starting point I would do for Alfred Hitchcock. Making his shoulders smaller as well would make him look a little bit more extremely large. Okay, so the smaller the additional parts is, the bigger he's going to look. Okay, that's the kind of look you're trying to go for. That's the starting point. Okay, and we can obviously play with that later, but that's the kind of shape adjustment you're going to do. It's like picking on the vital part, which is this part of his face. Okay, maybe it needs to go a little bit further up, you see. Okay, like so. Okay, just trying to find those shapes in your character or caricature, and then start emphasising them. And I'll show you how I did Alfred Hitchcock, because I've done him. I've done John Lennon, so I'll show you how I do him. I've done Stan Laurel, so I'll show you the sketches, and we can discuss that in the next stage, which is the detailing part. Okay.